Namaste. Somebody's Facebook is beeping. Thank you, beloved. We can start the broadcast if it's not already on. I was mentioning to Lizal that I really enjoy the way she starts satsang, the way she starts her broadcast, and the way she ends it as well. So we'll request her to start this satsang also in the same way, with some recitation at the feet of the beloved Master.
I'm just going to switch my Facebook off.
Yes.
Morning. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Dhyanamalam Guru Murti, Pujamulam Guru Padam, Mantramalam Guru Vakyam, Mokshamalam Guru Kripa, Mokshamalam Mujiji Kripa, Mokshamalam Anantaji Kripa. Sarvesham Swastir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha, Sarve Santu Niramya, Sarve Patrani Pashantu, Makaschit Papapave, Asato Ma Satkamya, Tamaso Ma Jyotir Kamya, Mrichur Ma Amritam Kamya, Om Purnamidam Purnamidam Purnat Purnamadachyate, Purnasya Purnamadaya, Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.
Very beautiful. Thank you so much. Namaste, everyone, and very warm welcome to satsang today. Mujiji ki jai. So happy to see all of you. Welcome, welcome. And the way to ask questions in the Hangout is directly to me. You can unmute your mic and ask. And if you're outside the Hangout, you can post your questions in the question and answers application, which should be visible to you. And we will look at it here. Namaste. Words are a very imprecise medium of communication. Silence is a much better medium of communication because words are open to more interpretation. So that's why in satsang we say that don't give the words that you hear in satsang to the mind to decipher. It happens actually many times that after a satsang I will get a note or a message saying, today in satsang you said something, 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 and it will be very different from what was actually said. Because the mind hears it in a certain way. The mind hears it in a certain way. And when the mind hears it, what we mean by mind hears it is that the interpretation of the mind is based on prior conditioning. Also, what happens many times in satsang is that we come to confirm what we already know, which is fine actually. But if it is only that, if it only is to confirm what I already know, then what happens is when you hear something contrary to what you know, then you say that this one doesn't know what he's talking about. So that is not openness. So many times, as long as it is compliant with our set of concepts and belief, we are nodding in agreement. But if it seems to be something which is different, then we become closed very quickly. And I'm not saying that take everything as the gospel truth which is spoken here. Not saying that. I'm also saying that don't make tattoos out of any words which are spoken here, but you must take the words and experiment for your own self. See the veracity of the words and verify for yourself. Don't rely on the mind's answers because the mind is only postponing, you see. And actually, if you're not waiting for the mind's version of anything, then our entire life is satsang. The birds chirping is satsang, the traffic noise is satsang, the boss yelling is satsang, our children's love is satsang. So, just as the same way, where I'm saying that don't hand over the words in satsang to the mind, in the same way, don't hand over anything in life to the mind. Don't give it to the interpreter. The interpreter will only muck it up. It will only give you false targets, false proclamations, false frustration. What can the mind say? The mind can say, you got it. Or the mind can say, you will never get it. Neither is helpful, you see. There is nothing to get. You are the supreme one. You are the supreme one. What is it that you could want? Which desire can still be true for you? Many of you also carry this burden of guilt that Ananta says, don't believe your next thought, but I believed it. I've still not got it. All this. You see? So then what is happening is that it's a vicious circle, you see. So one thought got believed, and then all that is required to be done at that point is to drop it right there and then. But instead, we pick up new ones. Oh, I still haven't got it. I still believe thought. Ananta says you are free already. Maybe I'm not ready for this satsang. Maybe this sangha is only for very advanced seekers. All this rubbish can come. You see, they are all thoughts. We have never said that this is for an advanced variety of seeker or some beginner variety of seeker. We have never said anything like that. All are welcome here. Because I see you for what you are, which is my own true self. All are completely eligible for freedom because you are already free. Whether you know any Advaita, whether you read an Advaita text, whether you know any Zen, you've read a Zen text, whether you know anything about it or not, it does not matter to me. And in this Sangha itself, you'll see many which have seemingly taken different paths. You see, there are some here who said, I don't want to ever read a book, or I cannot read a book. And some who said, I don't feel I can ever be devotional. You see, never. I don't feel I can ever be devotional. I'm just the Jnani. I'm just the Jnani mindset. You see, and we've seen transformation in both these sorts, isn't it? The ones who said, I'm just the Jnani mindset have become the most mushy, have become the most mushy. And the ones who said, I will never understand this Advaita stuff, are now speaking as if they are speaking scripture itself. This is the grace of the Master. You see? This is Mujiji's grace. So drop any ideas you have about yourself as well. Come completely empty of all preconceptions. All of these concepts are things that we have picked up along the way, and now you're being told that they are not useful. Just drop this heavy load which you are carrying, and then show me what bondage exists. Then show me what you want freedom from. I would like to see one who is not free. I haven't seen one yet. And this freedom must itself encompass this drama. You see, this whole drama of suffering, this whole drama of getting free from suffering. It is your own freedom which allows you to do this. Nothing can happen without God's will. Nothing can happen without the will of consciousness. Not a blade of grass can move. So, what are you resisting? And we do not say that it's only during satsang time that a blade of grass cannot move without God's will. It is true as long as there is time, there is only consciousness which is playing this Leela. So, when we are resisting an appearance, we are actually trying to resist God. This is the funniest thing. God is resisting God and saying in the process that I am suffering. Yeah. Who could have invented such a game except God Himself? So let's do a small experiment. Just suppose for a while that you are you are all there is. Everything is you. There is nothing outside of you. You are all there is. Everything is appearing for you. There is nobody else. There is nothing that you could want. And this is so till the end of time. So you're this supreme one right now, just for now. Now, what will you do to entertain yourself? Huh? Isn't it too boring to just be there? This all there is? You see, you can be like this for a minute or two and then say it's so peaceful, so nice. After a few minutes, you will say, then this is boring. Is this it? Then we create some entertainment, we create some drama, we create some comedy, we create some tragedy. This is the divine Leela. This is the Leela, you see. This is God's play. So you created this play and now you complain. But you're still all there is, you see. You're still all there is. Then, if you started complaining in the play, you also created the solution. You also created the solution where one will come to you and say, wake up, this is just a play. So it is not that the master is something special in this way. It is still you. It is just your own voice which is saying that, remember, remember, this is just a game, you see. So you also created this voice which was pretending to be the personal voice so that you could get more juice out of this game, get more entertainment or drama out of this game. And now we need to tell you that this voice was just for this purpose, for your entertainment. You have made it your guru. This voice in your head, which was only for your entertainment, you have made it your guru. That is why we say the simple way to be free from all of this trouble is don't believe your next thought. That is the handing over of power from the false teacher to the true one. And for a while, you try to sit on both chairs at the same time. It's very uncomfortable, you see. You try to sit on two chairs at the same time. It's very uncomfortable. You want to have the mind because you feel you will keep the mind for day to day, real world activities, and then you will come to peace during satsang time. And you see that it just doesn't work. Or initially, actually, what happens is you believe now that you have been given some superpowers. So now your life will be much, much, much better. Your husband will not fight with you. Your children will be beautifully behaved. Your bosses will be the best boss. I'm spiritual now, so my car should not break down. Nothing should happen to my body. So initially, all these misconceptions also come. It is as if you found the cheat code to life. And then grace shows you that it is not that. It is not that. It is not that you become only in certain states. It's not that you will become only bliss or only happy. The contrasts in the appearance will continue. Even the great sages, the great masters had great contrasts, you see. The appearances seem to become very challenging for some of them also. Jesus was hung up on a cross, you see. What other challenging experience can we have? Mhm. The great Sikh masters, the Sikh gurus had to go through so much challenge in the appearance. But if you could go and meet them in the heart, they will say that all of this is happening around me, but I am here and I am untouched by any of this. In the outward appearance, there could be grief also, there could be sorrow also, but the realization is that I am untouched by any of this. And this realization is available to you right now. This is the realization that we speak of. Find out if there is a me to which anything is happening to. Your latest grievance, your latest problem, your latest concern. Find out who it is really happening to. Your newest worry, which seems so real, maybe even before the start of satsang. Find out if there is this one, who is this one to which it is happening to. You will find that there is nobody home. There is no person here. And you are home, always home, not as a person. Who is witnessing your life? Is the one that is witnessing your life concerned about the content of your life? Okay, let's catch up on the chat as well. Namaste, namaste everyone. Shakti says, thank you for seeing me as I am, Father. Nitya says, Father, in the last days, the mind was very loud at times, and just now I realized that the loudness was because I was an interested listener. You see, yes, this is very good. See, this is very good. You see, she says, I realized the loudness was because there was an interested listener. If you deprive your thoughts of your interest, then the mind can never be loud. It can try, but it will never become loud. It is only that when I say there is some value in this and you become an interested listener, then it seems to be really strong. This is very good. And believe what I was saying. Just knock on that. We had some company who didn't realize they were right here. Then she said, and believe what it was saying. Yes, the interested listener believes what the mind is saying. It was seeing much more clearer that I am not this, but this seeing very happy. This is very good. This is very You are not what your mind is referring to you as. What is the mind referring to you as? What is the mind always referring to you as? Is it ever saying, "Oh consciousness, thou must do this"? "Oh great awareness, please switch your witnessing to another angle" or something? It is always talking to you as if you are a person. And every time you accept a thought or you show interest in a thought, then you are perpetuating this belief in personhood. You are agreeing that you must be a person, and that's why you are listening. Without this belief, the person cannot last. Are there any doubts left? Are there any but what about this that still remain? And you can check, you see. You can check what still remains. And don't feel that there is something which is not worthy to be shared in satsang, even if it is the smallest thing. Just come out and expose it. It is very good.
Father, there's this
Father, there's
question.
this question. Yes, yes. Very good, very good. So happy to see you, Subhi. Very good.
Thank you. It's all your
Thank
grace,
you.
Sifa.
All your great feedback.
So
Uh,
the question is
the
basically like
question is
you've
basically
seen that there
see
is
that
no
there
one
is no
here,
one here.
and then somehow
And
there's an
then somehow there's an
expectation that then you
expectation
should
that
be
then you
perfect in
should
terms
be
of
perfect in
your
terms of
how you live your
your
life.
how you live your life.
I mean, there should be no angry
There
thoughts.
is
There
no
should be no
angry
this, no
thoughts.
that.
There
You
should be
have
no
this
you have this
built up
this
expectation
built
around
up
you
expectation around you
that now that
that
you've seen that there's no
now that
one
you've
there,
seen
there
no
should be
one
no
there,
angry.
there should be
Who's it
no
coming?
who's it coming,
But it's still there.
but it's still there. So
It's
it's
being a bit confusing.
being a bit confused. Yes, yes. This is very good. This is very good. So he said, the audio was a little bit patchy, so let me just repeat what he was saying that now that it is clearly seen that there is nobody here, it is clear. And then this expectation comes that now there should be no angry thoughts or greed thoughts or any thought like this. It should be a state of perfection. And whose expectation is that? If there is nobody there, then whose expectation would this be? That is the first question we can ask. We say, okay, check, completely, nobody. But this expectation is there. But can there be an expectation without a person? So the expectation also comes from the idea of personal perfection in some ways, isn't it? That there is one person who has seen that there is no person here, and now this person should be perfect. And now I know it sounds a bit crazy, but that is actually what happens. There is a person who has seen that there is no person here, and now this person should have a perfect life. But this is not how it works out, you see. So first know that this feeling is also coming from the mind. And second, remember that don't expect that the mind will change its ways. All that will happen is that the mind will lose its power over you. That's why the great Bhagavan Ramana Maharishi said that the ego, which was a strong rope, then after seeing the truth, becomes a burnt rope. It loses its power. He did not say that the rope will vanish, you see. So the rope will continue to appear in this minute fashion. It will seem like we used to joke in satsang earlier that the mind used to be like a wrestler, a big, one of these big wrestlers you see on TV, who can throw you around. It used to be like that. And then it becomes milder and milder and milder till it comes to a point where it's just like a little mosquito, you see. So it will still try to get your attention by twittering in your ears, but you can just flick it away. Just flick it away. So don't expect that the mind should vanish now, or the mind will become a purified mind or some mind like that, which will only give you happy thoughts and sattvic thoughts. Only this kind of thing will come. That is not the way the mind functions. So what happens is that in many of our ancient books and texts, or maybe the ones that were written in the Middle times, what happens is we get these expectations. So what some devotees write, the love for their guru and the devotion for their guru is to say that this one was always in a state of bliss, okay? Always in a particular state. But I can tell you that that is not true, and it becomes an unreal expectation for us to carry. So in this way, it is a great disservice to the the ones who are interested in the truth to paint unreal expectations. So that is why I always say that if I have a message, it must be also in my regularness. Just the fact that regular life continues, I'm not walking on water, I'm not making wine out of water, none of that is happening. And that way it becomes approachable. It becomes real for all of you. Otherwise, what happens is we end up thinking that freedom, liberation is just for that 1 in a billion, you see. It is not for me. So this is not true. So what will happen is the mind will continue to operate in this way, but you will see that the magnetism which it seemed to have earlier, when it would come up with attacking thoughts or defense thoughts, there would be a lot of attention that would go to it. Now you find that not that much attention is going because you have withdrawn your belief from what it is saying. And with this, although it might sound very simple, it might sound very straightforward, in this simple pointing is the end of all suffering. The end of all suffering. Okay. And that is what even the great siddhas who have been meditating in the caves in the Himalayas for thousands of years have not come to. They have not come to this simple pointing. They're standing over there on one leg hoping that some miracle will happen or something will happen. But in that expectation of the miracle, in that expectation that the mind will change or something like that will happen, they are missing the point. The point is that they are not a person, that they are not the ego. And this discovery is completely open to anyone. It could be an investment banker in Goldman Sachs, or it could be a sadhu sitting in a cave in the Himalayas. In this instant, you can look and see, is there a person here? Is there an ego here? So if there is not, then I cannot be the one that my mind is referring to myself as. I cannot be this one. So I will stop buying the stories of this mind. And without a story being bought, you cannot suffer. You cannot suffer without believing a thought. You cannot suffer without believing a story about yourself. This end of suffering is available to all of you this instant. So the mind will continue. Let the mind say whatever it wants. You just say that I have handed over my attention and belief to the feet of the Sadguru. I am not interested in what you have to say. We joke and say, tell the mind that you are fired. But when you say, I'm fired, don't expect the mind to stop reporting to work. It will still come. It will still come. Just now, all you have to do is don't believe. Don't believe. So don't believe expectation also. Mhm. See, otherwise, it's a double whammy that happens. First, you believe an angry thought, and then you feel guilty, believe a guilt thought about that angry thought. So now, at least, okay, you believe an angry thought, some Shiva energy came, it got expressed, it is over and done with. But you are not now saying, okay, why did that happen? That means I haven't got it yet. All that rubbish. So you're just buying into 10 more lies by believing one lie. I've been I've had the honor of being in the company of some liberated beings. And this is pure grace where I've seen that in each liberated being also there are moments where these so-called human emotions come and they go. So anger will come, but resentment is not there. You see. Anger comes and goes momentarily, and then next minute they're talking to you as if nothing happened. You see. So don't let the mind also paint any pictures of what your freedom should be. That is also God's problem. It is not the mind's problem. Uh, Rizal says I should not be alarmed first, okay? And then she says, okay, she said that last actually, but she said, please fiddle with your mic. There's a slight click or interference. Okay, my mic is an internal one, so I'm not sure what I'm supposed to fiddle with. Maybe it's just the connection.
It's just better, Father. Thank you.
Just what?
It just fixed. It's better now. Thank you.
Oh, it's got better now. Okay, great. Yes, I feel that when there are two mics which are operating at the same time, then this happens sometimes. Very good. So, did that answer your question? So much. So happy.
Made it
Happy.
very clear, Ji Father. Thank you so much.
Good. So happy to see you. I've not heard Prema for a long, long time. So we'll put her on the hot seat and then we see what happens. You'll have to unmute first, my dear.
Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
Okay. Right. um, I, I don't know what to say. Do you have anything to say to me? Because I don't have any questions.
Yes. So Prema was so beautiful. You know, what happened is that I was in Rishikesh. I know some of you know the story, but I just repeat it because it's coming up. So I was in Rishikesh and there was a bhajan that was playing. It was Krishna Krishna, if I'm not mistaken. And Krishna Krishna was playing, and somehow it seems that the camera panned on me for some time. And this one, she saw me on the broadcast, and she said that this one, I feel something in my heart when I see this one. And then she wrote to Amrita, I believe. I don't know whether she'd ever heard a satsang also. She can answer, she's right here. But not sure if she'd heard a satsang also at that point of time. But she wrote to Amrita and said that I want to help Ananta in some way. I want to make a donation or something like that. And then he said that we don't actually accept any donations or there's no need actually at this point for any money. But I would love to actually be in touch with you. I had this feeling that anyone who can send so much, there's so much devotion in those messages, you see. And anyone who could send so much devotion in just one short moment seen on a satsang broadcast. So I knew that we were connected beyond just this life. You see. And so many of you actually, so many of you, we connected in such a beautiful way and all just completely organically. You see. The Mata is here. Mata, I never knew there was a Mata. You see. But then we got a mail from her. One day she said that I want to come in India, come and meet you in India. And she never said anything. Even now she's not on the Facebook chats or any other. So these beautiful mysteries of connections of the heart. So so grateful to the internet also because she's all the way in Switzerland, Geneva, if I'm not mistaken. And I think it's a long way to connect her sitting in Bangalore.
I can't. I can't even speak. just can I just I just want to say thank you. Even though I know I said it so many times, but I can't say it enough to say thank you.
Thank you too,
And,
my dear. Thank you so much.
and I just can't express the love that I feel for you. I don't know.
It cannot be explained. You see.
Yeah.
This love cannot be explained.
I don't know. How can you explain this? What's happening? No.
No, actually, even I can't explain this love. You see, this is the love bumbling idiots out of the most articulate people. This love.
Yeah.
You could have a speakers. Your job could be to speak, but when you experience this love in your heart, then you cannot express it. I don't think now, even now, after so many years, I've been able to express or explain this love to my master. You see, I've been in his presence so often, and around him, I'm just a complete bumbling buffoon. I have no concept of what is to be said or not. This is the beautiful ineloquence. And he himself said that he likes the ineloquence which is like this, and the eloquence which could come in words.
Well, I already felt so strong with Muji. It was sort of the same thing. But then when I saw you and the connection with you, it was even more. It's like you said, I can't explain what's happening. So thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Lizal said, Prima, you better make a highlight of this. She's going to be too embarrassed to make a highlight of this. Maybe somebody else will have to do this one. Okay, there's a question earlier. Nitya had said, there is some relationship things going on here that have juice. Want to protect my mom against some people and some annoying thoughts and interpretations of what is going on in others. What is not okay? Throwing it into the fire. All that needs protection is in the protection of God already. Like we were saying earlier, that not a blade of grass can move against His will. And even if some actions are happening through your body, which serve the purpose of protecting her, then even that is happening through God's will. See? So as we let go of the interpreter energy, doesn't mean that actions will stop. You will find that actions will continue. So whatever you feel right in your heart, intuitively, those actions can just continue to flow. And now that you have thrown it in the fire of satsang, all will be well. All will be well. And she says, did she say or Lizal said? Lizal said this. Same father, heart connection with you. I remember this one we added in the chat group quite some time ago. But I don't feel we heard from her a lot, at least initially. So we were wondering whether she's really enjoying it or whether it's become something that she's muted out or what really happened. And then she emerged so beautifully in the broadcast, you see, when she started broadcasting, it gave so much momentum and energy to the entire broadcast initiative. and we discovered she is a natural broadcaster. We should be like, we should have a channel just for her. The Lizal, we'll call it the Lizal channel. I would love to see it all day actually. I would have no trouble. And it's because of her and the rest of the team's beautiful efforts that we are now able to broadcast in this way, and able to have this sort of connect with all of you as well. She has big trouble accepting thanks, so we'll keep thanking her till she's completely over that. Shakti said, Prema, thank you for your beautiful expression of love and devotion, intoxicating. All of you are so amazing. Shakti the other day called somebody else, I think it was Anandi, she called her Shakti. And then she looked at her message on chat and then she said, oh, that's my name, isn't it? Complete loss of identity here. She really threw it in the fire. The old name and the new name all went in the fire. So beautiful. So, all my master's grace, so much grace. In fact, it is so beautiful. If I were to look at all of your messages and all of you here, so beautiful how I came across each of you. What is there to say now? No, I love you too. Should we have a song? You know, Lizal was saying while somebody prepares to sing, Lizal was saying that on YouTube they actually figured out, the computers, the algorithms, they figured out that Jyotika and Bhakti the other day sang that song, and they figured out that it is a copyrighted song. Look at the technologies. They must have sung it so well that they matched the song and they said this is copyright. Match. Mhm. No, I can imagine if you're playing the video, you play the original song, but even two people singing, and they were able to recognize. Amazing. So sing badly, whoever's going to sing next.
Father, I'll sing you some Sanskrit songs. I don't think the computer will figure them out.
Yeah, it's good. Even if we were to sing some other songs, it's okay. I feel it's just that if they get recognized, we can edit them or something like that. We'll figure that out. But very happy to hear you, Lisa.
Unless Zoe wants to sing for us in her beautiful voice.
Who?
Zoe, she sings so beautiful.
Yes, yes. She's our Deva Pramal.
Yes.
Yes. So Zoe can go first, and then we end with Liza's Sanskrit recitation. And she's very embarrassed because the Gayatri Mantra is all she knows.
Um,
It is done, it is done, Alleluia, it is done, it is done, it is done, Alleluia, it is done. You are always in my heart, never shall we be apart. I am always in your heart, never shall we be apart. Om Namah Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. It is done, it is done. Alleluia, it is done. It is done, it is done. Alleluia, it is done. You are always in my heart, never shall we be apart. I am always in your heart, never shall we be apart. Om Namah Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Thank you, my dear. Very beautiful.
Thank you, Father.